Hey, what's up fam? It's Blkhippiee here, and today we're going to talk about Pokemon Violet. As you guys know, there's been a lot of backlash about this. Apparently Nintendo's even been giving away refunds for this. Here's my honest review. There's been some issues with the OLED with Pokemon Violet, but from what I personally experienced, it really hasn't been that bad. I think there's there's just one scene where I think in the beginning, there's really one scene in the beginning where you're following one of the Pokemon into a cave, and then it gets a little glitchy, but you can work right through it. It's really not that bad. It's a little annoying for a couple seconds, but after that part, it's kind of a breeze. I haven't personally really have had any issues besides just that one part. So moving forward with it, the game's been great, if I'm being real with you. Of all the Pokemon that I played so far, on Switch, I would say this by far is the best. And that's just because I feel it's a real open world, right? That kind of leads into my next point. So like I said, the open world component is definitely different. You're able to explore way more. Another thing too I've noticed is that you get a vehicle or a Pokemon bike really early in the game, so it makes kind of traveling a lot easier. You still have the flying ability too, where you can go to other towns just taking a air taxi. Another thing I kind of like about it, I know this is kind of different for everyone else, but I typically love battling. So when I'm playing whatever and I run across somebody, I want to battle everybody, because for me personally, it makes your Pokemon stronger. Plus when you battle gym leaders, it's a little bit easier, right? So theoretically speaking, what I do like about Violet is that you don't have to battle. If you just want to adventure and just find Pokemon and collect treasures and little stuff whatever along the way, you could totally do that. You don't have to do the traditional game, if that makes any sense. So if you want to avoid battles, when you kind of cross a character, it doesn't initiate a battle. It only initiates a battle if you walk up to a character and actually try to communicate with them. So I do like that. Granted, I'm always communicating, because I like my battles. So when you're in a battle, you can move the camera angle. At first when I was playing, I didn't realize you could do that. I noticed that the angles were kind of what's the word? The angles were inconsistent. It'd be a different angle in each battle. And I kind of liked that at first. And then I realized with the right analog stick, you can kind of move the, I believe it's the right analog stick, but yeah, you can move the camera angle. So being able to move the camera angle is kind of cool, because you look at a different perspective of the battle, which is pretty dope. And I can't recall if you can do that in previous Pokemon games, but I don't know. To me, that's a new feature. And another thing with battles I really like with Violet is that they're a little harder. Not so much the grunts that you battle, but I've noticed when you battle kind of the side leaders, whatever, or even gym leaders, I've noticed that those battles can be a little bit more difficult. And if you've ever played online or battled people online, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about, where people are using not just their special attacks, but they're boosting their defense, they're boosting their special attacks. So you kind of have to be strategic with your moves, kind of like chess, right? And so some of the battles can be a little hard or harder. So I'm about 3 badges deep right now, so I guess we'll see how much more difficult it gets. But so far, it's been one battle that I had that was pretty hard. I won't spoil which person that was, because I want you to experience it yourself. But yeah, no, that was the first L that I took, and kind of humbled me a little bit, which was pretty cool. So that's another reason why I kind of Violet, I would say, a little bit more than previous Pokemon, is just because the battle scenes are a little bit more difficult than before, at least for me. So kind of speaking a little bit on the side missions, they're really fun. So far the ones that I've done, it's I feel there's so much to do, right? And so instead of feeling overwhelming, it just feels to me the story kind of all works together in a way. So it's fun. I find there's always something to do, pretty much. Whenever I open up my Switch and I'm playing, I feel there's always something for me to do, kind of no matter what time of the day, right? So graphics wise, once again, I'm speaking purely just on the OLED. To me, I think they look great. I haven't really experienced any issues with it, or I don't know, drop a comment below if you have the same model that I'm playing with, and if you feel that the graphics aren't good, or maybe you do feel they're great. I'm just curious to see how other people feel about it, because to me personally, I think it looks really good. So I'm just kind of surprised at all the backlash kind of with Violet and Scarlet. So if you've played Violet or you're thinking about playing Violet, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? You know, are you having issues with it? Is there a difference between like the OLED version? I'm sorry. Is there a difference between like the OLED model playing Violet versus like the older model? I don't know, so drop a comment below. I'm curious to see what you guys think. But anyway, so drop a comment below if you want to see a certain game be reviewed. If you want like my honest review for a certain game, just drop a comment below. Until then, Blkhippiee out. Peace.